Hi class, I wanted to make a video for you to walk you through how to format for APA. So in this class, tends to be two big things that trip people up, and that's formatting for APA and citing sources. Those two seem to be the two big things, which I gotta say up front, I'm pretty happy with. Because what I worry about is writing at all, expressing ourselves in writing, that's going to be the hard thing. And most of you show up actually able to do that pretty well. So that's good. That's very, very good. So if I'm talking to you about expressing yourself in your writing, that's the most important thing. But if you've already got that part down, you've got a pretty good writer's voice, you're already expressing yourself pretty well, then we need to focus on the other two big things, and that's APA formatting and citations. So citations are coming, but let's nail down APA formatting first. So this video, I'm going to walk you through how to format for APA. I'm going to use an example essay from a classmate, and I'm going to walk you through how to use Word to structure it. So when I say APA, there are two main formatting formats for essays, APA and MLA. Both of these, either one, you don't really need to know unless you're going to go on to get like a master's degree or maybe a bachelor's. Like if you're in the nursing program, you need to learn these. But either way, if you are going to become an English professor like me, you're going to have to learn MLA. But if otherwise, really, you're going to have to learn APA. With any science-based master's degrees or anything you're going to go into that's tech-based, you're probably going to use APA, which is why we use that in this class. So I want you to learn APA. It's worth a lot of points in all of your essays in this class. So I want you to learn how to do it. In this essay, I'm going to walk you through how to do it in Word. So let's get to it. I'm going to minimize myself. So here we have a student's essay. The essay is written. It's great. The information is here. It's an essay about a Chinese immigrant's tale. It's about what it's like to be a Chinese immigrant. We have an introduction. We scroll down here. We have their background, my childhood, their intersectionality, and a conclusion. So great essay. Everything's there. It looks like the section about power is small, but everything else is good. So what else are we going to do here? We have to put it in APA format. That's the key. So first, it needs to be paginated with a cover page. So let's start there. So this information that's right here, this is all the stuff that you are going to want to have on a cover page, right? You want the title, you want the name of the school, you want my name, you want your name, you want the class's name, and you want the due date. So the thing missing here is the student's name, which I took off because this is an example. So let's put on an example student. So we'll name them example student face. So I spelled example wrong, of course. So example McStudent face, that's who wrote this essay. So here we go. We have everything we need for the cover page, but it needs to be on its own page. So let's go right after this. I'm going to hit enter after all this, so my cursor's right beneath it. And then I'm going to go up here to insert, click insert, and then go over here to pages, and then hit page break. What that will do, bam, is that will cut the essay and make a new page starting there. So now we have this is all one page, which is what we want for our cover page. The next thing we want to do is highlight all of this and then center it. We don't want to highlight the whole essay, just the cover page should be centered, right? So to center it, we do that, highlight it, come up here and I hit the home button. This is where most of the buttons are that I need. Hit this paragraph button and then select center. This little guy right here with all the lines centered. And that centers it. That's good. Now we want to move it down the page a little bit, just a little bit. As far as how far, that's really up to us. I'm going to hit it a few times. So that's a pretty good spot. The next thing to do is the title should be bold, just the title. So what I just did right there is I triple clicked it. Or you can click and highlight it, whatever works for you, but you want to highlight that title and then hit this B button. It's also up here. You can hit it underneath the font name, but you want to hit bold. Just the title should be bold. We have an extra space between the title and the rest of the information. That's fine. If you don't want a space there, you can leave that out, but it does look better with a space. So I'd put that space in. And then we have this information. This stuff should not be bold. And then something else to notice about this title is it's in title case. So that means the first letter is capital, right? This is a capital letter, I is a capital letter, and T is a capital letter. That's important. There's one last thing to do, and that's add page numbers. So to do that, we come up here to the header, double click, just anywhere in the header. And then we come up here to the upper left where we see page number. And by the way, we're in the tab for header and footer. We automatically are in that tab. Then we come over here and we click page number. And then we want to go top of page. And then we want to go to the right side. So that's important. The page number should be on the right side. So there it is. And that's it. We don't put our name next to it, and we do not add a running head. If you look for how to add this and you find old instructions, they might tell you to put the title of the essay up here. And it's called a running head. Do not do it. That's old instructions. So now we get out of the header. I just double clicked anywhere else to get out of it. Another way to get out of the header is to click this big red X button. And the cover page is finished. It's completely done. That's ready to go. Looks perfect. So we scroll down, and now we're at page 2, which is great. This student has introduction at the top of page 2. That's a really common mistake, but it's a mistake. You don't have introduction. You shouldn't have introduction anywhere on your essay. There shouldn't have that. So let's erase that. What the student is doing is they have a heading, which is great. You want to have headings, but the heading, the very first heading should be the exact same as the title. So I'm just coming up here and triple clicking to highlight it, or I can click and drag my cursor over it. And then I'm holding down Control C to copy it. I can also right click with my mouse and hit copy. And then I scroll down here, click at the top of the page underneath the heading. See, my cursor is now over here to the side, and I hit Control V, and that pastes it. Another way to do that is to right click the mouse and hit paste. That puts it right there too. Make sure it's centered. Now I want the rest of the essay to be right up to this, so I'm going to go ahead and hit delete to pull the rest of the essay up here. And there it is. The essay's right up to it. Now notice this student has something wrong. The margins are strange here, right? Do you notice that? That the margins they don't equal here. It's more indented here than here. That might happen to you. If it does, well, there's a couple ways to fix it. One way is to fix the margins for your entire essay. So let's go up here to layout. We click layout, and then you see this margins button over the side. So we click margins. Now we should have 1-inch margins all around, so that's normal. So none of the rest of these. So let's click normal and see if that fixes the whole thing. It didn't. It didn't fix this page, because that means that this has been moved manually. I think the student tried to adjust their margins on their own, which happens. So the way to fix this manually is this margin is set by this little hourglass looking tab, these little marks up here. So if I go up here and I click and hold on the bottom one, I can then scooch it over to the side and bring it over to the edge here where it's supposed to be. Boom. And now I've fixed this paragraph, but I have to do it for each paragraph. So let's come back down here to this paragraph and pull this over. Oops. This top one is where the tab goes to. The bottom one is where, oops. I meant to click all of it. I did not. If you only click part of it, you might have to move the rest, but there we go. Oh, I didn't move it all the way over. There we go. Did I get in the right spot? There we go. Whew. So there we fixed the margins. So now we fixed the margins. We got that. We want to indent all of our paragraphs. It's another common mistake for students. So to indent, we put our cursor at the beginning of the paragraph. Easiest way to do it is to hit tab for each one. That'll move it over enough. Another way to do it is to hit spacebar 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do not just hit it a couple of times or once. Students who do that, you're going to start losing points on that. That's not a tab. So either tab or 5 spaces. I recommend tab because then it's the same for everything. So tab. And then come down here. I think this says an extra space there. Yep. So I removed the space, then hit tab. And then we come down here. There's extra spaces between these paragraphs. Want to get rid of that. This heading is great. It's in title case. My and the M and the C are capitalized. That's good. But the whole thing should still be bold. So let's put that bold. Now right here, this also needs to be indented. So we indent that. Scroll down here. This one also needs to be indented. And there's extra space. We need to get rid of this extra space. There's extra space here. Get rid of that. Intersectionality also needs to be indented. Needs to be bolded, which it is. It didn't look like it was, but it is. We need to indent this one. This is the conclusion. It's not the conclusion paragraph. This is the power paragraph. So intersectionality. So this is about the students' discussion of how they feel power, how they do or don't feel power. So there's no heading for it. For them, they've just included it with intersectionality. Now, considering that this essay, I'm going to put myself bigger, this essay's requirements that it has specific, like you need to have a section on intersectionality. You need to have a section on power. it's smart to give those sections headings. That way you are telling your grader, your professor, hey, I have these sections. You can not have those, and that's fine, but considering this is English 101, I want you to practice having headings. In your future classes, feel free to do whatever you want, but for the instructions for this essay, I say clearly use headings. I want you to practice using them. This class is about practice. The essays you're writing in this class are all practice essays. None of these are essays that are going to be used for anything other than practice for later when it matters, right? So think of it that way. So let me go ahead and minimize myself. So this guy needs a heading. So let's give it one. Headings can be anything. They just can't be full sentences, and they should never end with a period. So for this one, since this student just used intersectionality, let's keep with the same theme and keep it short. So let's just say power. So there we go, power. I'm hitting the home tab so that I can then hit paragraph and center this. I'm also going to double click it so that I can bold it. And now I'm going to hit tab here to indent this paragraph. And let's get rid of this extra space. This conclusion is great as far as a heading goes, but it's red for some reason. All of the text in your entire essay should be black. It's part of the format. So I'm going to come up here to font and click black and then indent this paragraph. And now this is starting to look like a totally normal essay, right? Looks pretty good. But there's still one thing missing. Do you know what it is? It's double spacing. So let's go ahead and I'm going to hit Control A to select the entire essay. It's a shortcut. You can also drag your cursor over it. And then I'm going to go up here to, is it under paragraph? Yeah, hit paragraph. And then you see this little button here that's like the blue arrows going up and down and the little lines. It says line and paragraph spacing. Click that guy. And here's where you can click double spacing. And that's where I want to click is that double spacing at 2.0. Click that guy. And now, bam, the entire essay is double spaced. Now it looks a lot longer. And there we go. Now it's a 4.5 page essay. Look at that. Boom. It looks more impressive. But there we go. Now this is a complete essay, perfectly formatted in APA. So hopefully that makes sense. And hopefully you can follow along with this video. Go ahead and let me know if you have any questions about how to do this. But this is what you're going to want to do if you lost any points and you want to regain your points using the extra credit. If you lost any points on your first essay, follow these instructions and regain your points. I highly recommend it, especially because your final, you're going to need to know how to do this. It's worth a lot of points on your final, and you want to have a chance to recoup those points. So let me know in the meantime if you have any questions at all, right? And good luck. You can do it. I believe in you.